This non-binary officer said the highlight of a deployment on the U.S.
Go watch that clip. I think that admiral does a fantastic job of smacking down that idiot, Tommy Tuberville, the senator from Alabama, who's never served in the military, telling others who can and cannot serve. Let me give you a little history lesson here, Mr. Tuberville. This is Baron von Steuben. You've definitely heard of him before from history classes. He is known as the father of the American military. In the winter of 1777 to 1778 at the encampment of Valley Forge, the American army was at its low point. George Washington needed someone to invigorate the troops and make them into a professional army to push back against the British, because we were mostly farmers and ill-trained civilians at this point. So they got Baron von Steuben from Prussia, with rumors that he was gay back there and that he was kicked out of the military because he was gay. But Ben Franklin, who was over in France at this point, didn't care. We needed someone, and we didn't care what his background was or what his private life was. He was monumental in making us become a professional army and winning against the British with his new manual and training the troops out of Valley Forge. He had 2 aides-de-camps, which he adopted, which was a very common practice for many gay men to do, which he did after the war because, of course, marriage wasn't legal at this point. We would not be a country without him. This is Krzysztof Polowski, another foreign officer who sailed from Poland to America for the cause of freedom, recruited by Benjamin Franklin. He was probably born intersex. They did some research on him a couple of years ago of his DNA, of his remains, and it looks like he was born with both genitalia, which is more common than we actually think. So he's an early version of what a trans soldier was. He was monumental in the war because he cut off the British from basically bagging up the American army at the Battle of Brandywine. The British were going to capture hundreds of thousands of American soldiers, but because he stepped in, he saved hundreds of thousands of people, probably most of the American army, and later died at the Siege of Savannah. And of course, we can't forget America's Mulan, Deborah Sampson, who cross-dressed to fight in the 4th Massachusetts Light Infantry, which were like skirmishers back in the day. She took 2 bullets to the leg, pulled them out with a knife and a needle. That way she wasn't going to be found out by the army that she was a woman. She was later found out because she came down with illness. They honorably discharged her, and John Hancock, with the help of her friend Paul Revere, was given a pension at the end of her life. These people have been fighting for us since the dawn of the nation.